Guys, I forgot to film an intro, so here's this picture of me crying as a stand-in. Anyway, hi, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. I'm Ray. Sorry. So, I was originally here to film a very different video, and that's why these walls are so blank, because I was filming a different video, but then I decided that I want to do that video differently than the way I've been trying to do it, and that's why it hasn't been working, and I might just scrap the idea entirely, because I've tried to film that video 3 times already, and I have failed all 3 times. Also, I have a limited number of hours that I am home alone, but I do need to film a video, so here I am, and that's why the walls behind me are very blank. Otherwise, I would have printed somebody out to put up here. But I wasn't prepared for this, because I was going to do a completely different video. So, yeah. I didn't prepare for this at all, so I'm going to try to make this a tier video, but I don't have a tier, because I didn't prepare and make a fucking tier list before this, because I wasn't thinking I was going to do this. So we're just going to do it on the fly, and I'll try to edit it afterwards. But I'm not going to do a normal tier list where you're like, this is the best and this is the worst. Nah. This is my ranking. Queer. That's its own category. They're cute. Mediocre. Ew. And jail. Will they all fit into those? I'm not sure, but we'll find out. Starting off strong. Dexter and Raven, they're cute. They're cute. They're cute. I feel very much 2 bisexuals hanging out. 2 bisexuals kissing. That's my interpretation of their characters. Just 2 bi people hanging out. Hanging out and also kissing. Dexter and Cupid, I think that should go in jail. Would it be cute? Probably. Is it jail worthy though? Because Cupid tried to finagle it by being Cupid? Yeah. Sorry, it's weird. It's weird, and then I feel like it brings up some really weird questions on what Cupid should be allowed to do and not do. You know, it gets into some weird, could this turn into essay categories? So I'm gonna put them in jail. I love Cupid, but I think they did her dirty in this show. And they especially did her dirty with her fucking doll. Ashlyn and Hunter? This might just be my bias, but I don't like Hunter that much. And I think that Ashlyn and Breyer are actually girlfriends. I just added a category specifically for Ashlyn and Breyer, which is should be canon. And that goes above queer. And Ashlyn and Hunter are mediocre. It's like fine. It's like fine. I don't know. I feel like she could do better. You ever be like, but you could do better, girly. But you're like too hot. 2022 feels like the year of the hottest women having the ugliest fucking boyfriends. And Ashlyn is not an exception to that. Alistair and Bunny, I think they're cute. I think what's weirder is that Bunny's dad, we never see him turn into a human, so he's just constantly a rabbit. So why can she turn into both? That brings up weird questions to me. Did the bunny fuck a person? What happened here? Why is she half and half? Will she become full bunny when she lives out her story? I have questions. I think Alistair and Bunny are cute though. Alistair quite literally is just Ross Lynch though. So I feel like most people like him. I didn't know that Alistair and Maddie was a ship. And I couldn't tell you why, but I feel like that ship should be in jail. So I don't have an explanation for that, but jail? Alistair and Kitty is also a ship that I didn't know existed. When did people have time to think they had chemistry? Because I don't think they did. Also, I feel like Kitty is an absolute women love women. That's a no from me. That's gonna go in the EU category. Alistair and Courtly? Sorry, Courtly. You're batshit crazy. You're going in the EU category no matter what. I hate Courtly. I don't know what about her rubs me the wrong way, but I hate her. Oh my god. I look at her and I'm like, oh, but why though? And when they did that thing where they're like, vote, well, should Courtly be allowed to go to Ever After High? No, bitch. No, she shouldn't. What if all of these children had voted no? What were y'all gonna do? What if they were like, no, I think Courtly should be fucking killed on sight? What was their plan? I have a feeling those votes were rigged. But that's besides the point. Apple and Raven is a ship brings me so many questions, which one is, wouldn't she technically end up being either her half sister or also her stepmom if they play out their stories? So many questions that are not answered. And when I posted a TikTok about this the other day, and people were like, well, it's implied that the story isn't the same. And it's like, but is it? Is it truly? Because the show runs off of the idea that you already know who all of these characters and stories are. And though, as you look at it, you're like, there's no way that these stories can actually be the original stories. But that's how this whole show and premise operates off of, the idea that you already know these stories. So to change them as drastically as I think this show does without telling its audience, you do have to tell your audience. Because how are we supposed to know that you changed the story when this whole show operates of the idea that we already know these stories? You know? Like, you can't just do that. Especially because y'all aren't Disney affiliated. Like, Disney stole this idea from you to create Descendants. Like, y'all aren't Disney affiliated, so you can't even use the assumption that the kids watching this have seen the Disney movies, because you can't use the Disney movies. Which also makes weird things like Michelle, who is the daughter of the Little Mermaid, which brings up really weird questions, because I think the show is operating off the idea that you are aware of the Disney version and not the actual original Little Mermaid. Because I feel like the actual original Little Mermaid brings up a lot of weird questions. Like, if you truly think about it. Like, is Michelle just supposed to turn into fucking sea foam? Like, what, bitch? You can't operate your show like that. Like, you just can't. People are gonna have questions. And there are little things they could have wrote into the show to address them, like just one-off lines, but they choose not to. Apple and Darling, they have like absolutely no chemistry whatsoever, but I do really like them as a concept. I know they couldn't really give them chemistry because it was like 2015. And like gay people weren't allowed. Gay people still aren't allowed. This is Editing Ray. I just wanted to add some things here, which is that before people are like, oh, but we don't know if it's like canon that they're like true loves or whatever, like if it's not really confirmed. Okay, that's not the point. That's not how true love works. Like, true love doesn't mean that you're in love right now. It just means that you're each other's true loves. Like, and this show up to this point has like never taken the time to establish platonic true love being a thing. So you have to take it as romantic, especially considering Apple's story. Also, Darling had quite literally just started CPR, and I don't think a single breath was gonna dislodge that fucking apple from Apple's throat. Like, a singular breath? She didn't even start doing chest compressions or anything. A singular breath dislodged that whole fucking apple? Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I'm not a doctor, but I'm also not fucking stupid. Like, y'all. And Ever After High is kind of notorious for not giving its ships much screen time. So I don't know why the only problem that really comes about for most people in this fandom is Apple and Darling, when so many other ships they ship have had like 1 second of screen time, and they showed interest in each other once and then never showed interest in each other ever again. So like, really it's a double standard here, and I wonder why. And it would also be really interesting to see a kids' TV show try to tackle compulsory heterosexuality. So they're going in the queer category of, I like it, but I wish it was handled better, if that makes sense. Like, I think if we were to revive the show now, I would like to see them actually interact with each other. Thank you. Harper and Breyer? No. That's going in the EO category, and I will not be elaborating. Daring and Lizzie, I think they're, like, cute for, like, your, like, first romance, where you, like, both don't really know what you're doing, and, like, this is the first time you've ever done anything, and you're, like, finding yourselves together. But long term, no one can convince me these two aren't gay. This is women loving women and men loving men solidarity at its finest. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. I think they should go in the queer category of they are definitely both gay. And I'm confirming it here. I don't care if it's not canon. It is, in my heart. Daring and Rosabella, I feel like that came out of left fucking field. I like the idea of Daring being the beast. Like, that's interesting. I'm gonna voice over this part because I didn't word it exactly the way that I feel like I wanted to, which is that I enjoy the concept of them, but I do think that it is a very tired trope of a woman having to teach a man how to act, behave. Like, she should not have to teach him how to be a good person. That is not her job. As somebody's girlfriend, significant other, friend, it is not her job to teach a man how to act. She is not his mother, and I feel like if they had strayed away from that concept more, I would like them better. Because, once again, she is not his mom. That is not her job. Please, Rosabella, you can do better. I need you to find yourself an emotionally mature man and have a great life, because Daring is just really not that person right now. Like, somebody becoming a better person through being friends with you or being around a certain person who's, like, really good is not the same concept of Rosabella literally having to, like, mother him into being a good person who's not just super self-absorbed, if that makes sense. Also, we literally don't really see anything about her until she's relevant to Daring, so once again, I'm saying they have, like, no chemistry whatsoever. I'm gonna put them in mediocre. Daring and Apple. Every ship that Daring is in ends up being with somebody who's definitely a queer woman. Once again, men loving men, women loving women, solidarity. That is Daring and Apple's relationship. And I'm putting them in ew. I've read a lot of fanfic where that man is gay, and I just can't get it through my head that he wouldn't be. So I'm adding in Daring and Cerise here because I kept pronouncing her name wrong originally, so this whole part got cut out of the video of me talking about them, and they just, like, were not gonna make it to the final cut, but I know people are gonna ask about it, so I'm just gonna put it in here. I do not ship them. I do not like it. I think that Cerise would be better with quite literally anyone else. But I did want to talk about the fact that I think it is hilarious how in every nuanced adaptation of Red Riding Hood, they unintentionally make, like, the most bisexual character possible. Once again, fitting in with the themes that this man only dates queer women. So I would be putting them in ew if they made it into the final cut, just in case you were wondering. Chase and Darling. If we're operating under the idea that Chase doesn't know that Darling is the White Knight, ship it. Ship it. But if it's knowing that Darling is the White Knight, absolutely not. No. I'm putting them in, ew. Yeah, I'm putting them in ew. Sparrow and Duchess, shut the fuck up. People ship Sparrow and Duchess. Get out! Oh my god. Duchess is a lesbian. Facts. Duchess is a lesbian. Duchess doesn't like men. Duchess is a man-hater. Duchess is literally the leader of the misandrist club at Ever After High. I can't see this woman tolerating a man. At all. Absolutely not. She's not. No, that's going in jail. Jillian and Humphrey, it's, like, fine. But, like, Humphrey in general is, like, a weird character that you're like, oh. Thinking about the fact that you're, like, half egg, really fucking weird. Also, Jillian looks like the type of girl that would absolutely fucking peg her boyfriend. And if he's Humpty Dumpty, he's breaking. And the King's men are not gonna be able to put it back together again. I'm putting them in ew. That's the end of this list? Why? That wasn't that many. There's other characters at Ever After High, guys. Darling times Holly O'Hare. I think the O'Hare siblings are annoying. I really don't like them. I think they're, like, fine. But I don't want to see them very often. I don't know. I'm putting that in mediocre. Kitty Cheshire times Ramona Bad Wolf? That's kind of interesting. I don't think Kitty is Ramona's type. Ramona, big lesbian energy. Big lesbian older sister vibes. Kitty, definitely a queer woman. I don't know. Kitty, I don't know. I think they're cute. I'll put them in there cute. They're cute. I kind of like that. I'm not sure it would work out very well. But they're cute. I love Kitty. If I was going to cosplay anyone from the show, it would be Kitty. Jillian Beanstalk times Lily Bo Peep. Oh my god, who the fuck is Lily Bo Peep? I watched this whole show and all the specials, but I still feel like there's characters I look at and I go, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck are you? Where did you come from? When did you start going to this school? Who are you? I feel like there's a point after, like, once, like, Netflix started taking over, that there's characters I'm like, who the fuck are you? When did we meet you? Where did you come from? Aw, she's cute. So Jillian and Beanstalk, that's cute. Aw, I like that. Is that really all the ships y'all got? Really? That's not that many, guys. There's so many characters in this show. Who do I want to see together that wasn't mentioned? Other than Ashlyn and Breyer? I don't know. I would like to see Duchess get with somebody. I love Duchess, even though she's, like, a shitty little... You know who Duchess should get with? Fable. I love Fable, too. I think Duchess and Fable. I'm putting that in the they should be canon. Duchess and Fable would be cute. Aw, that's cute. I just love those two so much. Duchess and Fable, if you're gonna, please, somebody out there, if you're watching this and you're like, I actually kind of like that, send me your fan art. Send me your fan art or your fanfics, please. I will look at them and read them. Who else would be cute, now that we're thinking about it? I feel like there's not enough boy characters for me to feel comfortable, like, shipping Daring with anybody. I feel like most of the fanfics ship him with Sparrow, though, but I fucking hate Sparrow. Bitch is annoying as shit. I feel like Justine should be with somebody. I think Michelle would be cute with somebody, but I don't know who. You know? There's, like, not that many fucking boys, and that's where the problem comes in. That there's, like, 4 of them. There's, like, 4 boys in this whole fucking show, and that makes it hard, yet the majority of the ships are straight. Yeah, I don't know. If I think of any, I'll add them in post. I guess that's the video. I love you. I'm sorry I don't post. I was working on that video that I've been trying to film for 3 different times. That didn't work, and I'll have to do it a 4th time. Or I might just give up altogether because it really wasn't working out the way I wanted it to. This is it. This is the end. And they all died in the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on TikTok. I'm funnier on there and I post more often. Follow me on Instagram. I don't really use Twitter anymore, but I have one. And subscribe to me here. Thanks. I love you. I hope you have a great week in this shitty world we live in. I love you. Bye-bye. You know, if I was Victor Frankenstein from Monster High Freaky Fusion, I think I would have had a lot more questions than just accepting the fact that Frankie is my granddaughter. I think my first question would actually be, well, I know she was dying at the time, but, like, I think my first question would actually be, why the fuck did your parents name you Frankie Stein? They couldn't come up with anything else. Not a single other thing. They couldn't just give you a name and then your last name would be Frankenstein. No. they just split up your last name into 2 parts. Why did they do that? I think that would have been my first question. I would have been like, literally, why is your name just our last name split up into 2? I would have been like, where did I go wrong with my parenting? They couldn't come up with anything. And my second question would be, in the scrapbook that Frankie's parents have, how did they get Victor's selfies that he took in the future in there? Did somebody print them out for him before sending him back? I don't think they did.